What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I want to specifically go over 5 middle-class money traps you must avoid. Now, I specifically want to do this because over the past few weeks, I've been getting a lot of questions from people. Hey, I have this much money, what should I do with it? Or, hey, I'm looking at doing this, do you think that's the right move? Now, I just want to address this more of a broad, and give you some broad answers, because some of the moves that I've been seeing a lot of people here in this community do, it's somewhat questionable. So let's get right into the 5 middle-class money traps that you must avoid. Trap number 1 is going to college. Now, I am not saying going to college is something that nobody should do, because all throughout school, we were always told that we must go to college to become successful or become something. But that's not the case in 2022. Now, with college, on average, it costs about $29,000 here in the United States to go to a 4-year institution. Or to go to a community college, it costs about $8,000. Now, here's the reason why this middle-class money trap is something that you must avoid. It's because for lower and middle-class Americans, they believe that college is the only way to get ahead and to put more money in the bank and to become more successful. But that's not true. Right now, with books, with online courses and continuing education, there's so many paths forward. So many things that you can do. You do not have to go to college. You do not have to go and get an advanced degree to be successful, even to make $1 million a year. Guess what? You can do that on YouTube. You can do that on TikTok. You can do that as a realtor. You can do that as a financial planner. Again, things that you don't have to go and have a college degree for. You have to have licenses and some certifications, but that's it. Now, too many people, they get stuck in jobs that they dislike, that don't pay them enough, don't offer substantial benefits. But many people never make a change. And this is where the middle class really gets stuck, is because they get stuck and they limit their potential, they limit their beliefs. And by not continuing to educate themselves, they cannot build a better financial future. So, one trap that you must avoid is do not think that college is the only answer, because it's not. The next middle class money trap that you must avoid is auto loans. This is huge, and I want to really explain what too many people do, because far too often, many people are buying a new car just because their family member, their friend, their coworker, the lady down the street bought something new. And we have good jobs. We have a nice house. Let's go and buy a new car. Well, maybe it's just not the right time. Maybe it's not the best use of money. Well, here's what you need to understand. This is one of the worst items to buy. Many people would classify a car as a good investment. I can tell you right now, a car, unless you're going to rent it to other people on Turo or you're using it for business, is not an investment. A car is a depreciating product. I'm not even saying it's a depreciating asset, because it's honestly not an asset. It's a liability. Now, just to give you an idea, the average new auto loan, it actually costs in the US $575 per month. For a used car, you're still spending about $430 per month. The most common length of a loan is 72 months or 6 years. So here's what you need to understand. When you lock yourself in to a loan for 6 years, this greatly reduces what assets you can purchase. For example, real estate, investing, and just things of that nature. But just to give you an idea, just so you know what $575 per month is, okay? This is the opportunity cost. This is what most people don't realize. $575 invested at just 7% per year. The actual contributions over 72 months, this would be $42,000. But when you add in 7%, okay, a 7% return, and you got to understand that we are actually, we're having compound interest here. which means at the end of 6 years or 72 months, you would actually have $50,220. That is huge, because not only is it $42,000, it's a little bit under $42,000 of your own money, but it's an additional $8,000 in interest. That's where many people in the middle class are thinking of a car as a good investment, when essentially it's causing them a lot of harm. Just think about that. $50,000 in 7 years. Or actually in 6 years, excuse me. That's huge. So let's say you buy a new car every 6 years. Chances are your old car is going to be worth maybe, I'd say 30, 40% of what you paid. So it's not going to be a great investment. So just keep that in mind. This is what many people in the middle class do. They buy something they technically can't afford because they can get a loan on it, when the loan is actually going to hurt them in the long run. The next middle class money trap that many people fall into is they don't invest. They spend all their money on items that they don't need, don't want, and at the end of the month, they just have nothing left. What millionaires and billionaires do is they pay themselves first. It doesn't mean they take their money out and it's okay, I made $2,000 this month, I'm going to take out $500 because I really want to go on vacation. No, that's not what they do. The millionaires and billionaires of this country or of this world, they pay themselves first, which means, okay, I know I need to save 25%, or I need to invest 25% of my income. So every single month, I'm going to take $500 out, I'm going to invest it first. Then I'm going to pay for all my expenses, and then whatever I have left, whether it's $1 or $600, that is the money I can use for my wants, okay? For just, little expenses here and there, eating out, going to, on vacation or doing anything like that. That's what the millionaires and billionaires do. Now, this is the problem. It's a huge problem because one of the reasons that middle class Americans struggle to eventually retire is because they wait so long to invest or they never start. But investing early, this is one of the things that you have to do, because if you don't invest early, then you have to invest more every single month the later and later you start. Because keep in mind, compound interest really helps so that you don't actually have to save all the money, because savings plus interest is what will give you a high net worth. But this is where most people struggle, is they never invest. Investing sounds like one of those scary words that, oh no, we don't talk about that in our household. And I remember, when I was younger, if anybody was talking about investing, it was very quiet. Oh, shh. They don't need to know. But now it's one of those things that we have to get behind. So if you classify yourself as a lower class or middle class, just understand and ask yourself, how much are you investing? How much? And investing into what? Stocks, bonds, ETFs, real estate, businesses, yourself. Are you investing, and how much? Because what you are investing, the percentage every single month, that's pretty much going to dictate where you are in 5, 10, and even 15 years down the road. So one thing I can tell you, invest. If you want to be, upper class or even upper middle class, invest. That's one way to get out of this trap. Something that I see far too often is people are stuck in the middle class because they're doing one thing that their friends and their family are doing. Guess what that is? It's eating out. A typical person in the United States eats out 5 times per week, with an average order of about $16 each time. This means that on a typical week, it costs $80 a person, or $4,160 per year. That's a huge number. And most people are like, I don't spend that much. Really? Do you go get a coffee at Starbucks in the morning? And you do that every single morning. Technically, that's eating out, right? You spend $6 on a coffee every single morning when you can make something for less than $1 at your house. You go and get a sandwich. You go and get fries and a drink or a shake or whatever, right? You run to McDonald's. McDonald's is not $1 anymore. McDonald's is still, on average, you're still looking about $9 to $10 per person. That's just at McDonald's, where you run by, you drive through, pick something up, eat it, and you're done before you even get out of your car. This is what the typical person does. Far too often, people are just eating out because they see others eating out. Oh, my friend went to McDonald's today. Okay, well, that sounds good. I'll probably go there later. And in most cases, you don't ever see a bunch of people at restaurants all eating alone. Because eating at a restaurant now is considered more of a social activity. So guess what? Experts say that if you want to get out of the middle class, then make a change and eat at home. It's uncomfortable. It's something most people don't like to do, but it's the way that you should do it if you want to get out of the middle class. And here's something else you may not know. Keeping money in savings is actually considered a lower and middle class move. Here's the reason why. Billionaires and multimillionaires say that the one thing that made them switch from thinking small to thinking big is by moving their money. Instead of sitting on cash that doesn't have much of a return, if anything at all, invest your money. Invest into real estate that produces cash flow. Because when you invest into real estate that produces cash flow, it pays you every single month. It's not like owning a home where you live in it and yet it's a liability that if something breaks, you have to pay for it. Every single month, you have to pay for it. Insurance, you pay for, right? All property taxes, you pay for. But when you invest into real estate that produces cash flow, every single month, you can almost guarantee that you're making money, right? Experts say, and billionaires say, to invest in yourself. Continually educate yourself. Make sure your businesses are growing. Make sure your investments are doing better. Move your money. If your money is sitting in let's say in an investment in some type of stock that has just gone to the moon, maybe it's time to sell it and go find something else. Go invest in cycles. Also, they say pay down debt. That keeping all your money in savings, even though it's considered a safe move because it's there. Right now, with inflation at 7.5%, your money is actually depreciating every single day. You're losing money. Okay. The opportunity costs, okay, are just too great. Put your money to work. That's what experts are telling us. And here's the last thing I just want to say, is one thing that experts believe keeps people in the middle class is their friends and their family. They say stepping out and going with more of an unconventional thinking isn't normal. It's even, in many cases, many circles, it's not accepted. So, they say, by improving your financial circle, you could also improve your financial situation. So here's what I can tell you, okay? Right now, there's many middle-class money traps that you must avoid. I just gave you 5. But keep in mind, these 5 should set you up for future success. Maybe you don't go to college, but you continue to educate yourself through books. Maybe you don't get a car loan, and instead you buy a 5 to 10 year old vehicle that still runs, doesn't cost you $575 per month, but now you have that $575 per month that you can invest into yourself and your future. And maybe, again, you're not investing. Well, the best time to start investing is now. You can't change what you haven't done in the past, but you can fix it today. Also, stop eating out. If you can eat out less, even if it's one time per week, that's going to save you some money. That's going to get you closer to getting out of that middle class. And lastly, don't keep all your money in savings. Right now, when we're seeing high inflation, savings is actually going to hurt. So invest in yourself, in your future, and make sure you are paying down debt. That's the key. So if you have any questions whatsoever, you can always ask your questions down in the comment section below. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.